Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, Amanda Hilton. She's the president of the Nevada Mining Association, here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation, and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. But it's more than just growth. Our community is our foundation, supporting families, empowering local initiatives, and creating a place where everyone belongs. Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Join us in building a brighter future right here in Story County. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
It's a good time to eat. It's a good time to play.
It's a good time to win.
Ooh, your good times a tamarack.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're delighted to welcome back to the program Amanda Hilton. She is the president of the Nevada Mining Association, coming to us this morning from Ely, her home in Ely. You ran the Robinson Mine, and so you have a lot of history in Ely. Pleasure to have you back.
Well, thank you so much for having me this morning.
All right, so I wanted to start out. You just came back from the Elko Mining Expo. Tell us what you got out of that, some of the hot topics.
Well, it was a fantastic few days in Elko. There were over 450 booths, and those were comprised of supplier companies, operators, and exploration companies. And it was an excellent opportunity for everyone to network and engage, and for us to see what new technologies are being deployed in our industry. Gone are the days where this industry has a pick and shovel. Instead, we have autonomous equipment, we have drones, we have VR machines for training purposes, and all of those new technologies were highlighted at last week's Elko Mine Expo.
That's fascinating. Now, you know, having been out to Newmont with Paulinos a few years ago, and standing next to some of those giant mining machines, you really just can't tell just looking at a picture of just how huge they are. Now, are these already become robotic?
So there are some autonomous fleets being deployed throughout Nevada for autonomous haul trucks. And when I was leading the Robinson mine, we deployed the first autonomous drill in the state of Nevada. And that site now has 3 autonomous drills. And there are several autonomous drills throughout mining operations in our state. But we're going to be seeing more and more equipment transition to autonomy in the coming years.
You know, when people get concerned about the future and jobs, I always point out to the Industrial Revolution, where, yes, a lot of people were displaced from the jobs they'd had before, but other jobs opened up because of the opportunities. And the same thing happened even on a simple scale when ATMs came along in the mining industry. I remember 30 years ago interviewing the president of one of the banks here in Nevada, And he was so excited about ATMs. He said, boy, they don't take vacations, they don't take sick leaves, they work 24 hours a day. But it's not like the banking industry has less people working in it now. How is this going to play out for the mining industry when you have all the potential of all of these autonomous vehicles?
Well, that is a really good question, and that's something we end up talking a lot about. Last week, I led a panel at the Elko Mine Expo, and we had leaders from several heavy machinery or equipment suppliers such as Caterpillar, Komatsu, Sandvik, Liebherr, Epiroc. And one of the points that was made there is with this transition to more autonomous equipment, it is not reducing the number of jobs. Instead, the jobs are changing and the skills that are required for those jobs are changing. And we look at the workforce of the future, and those are our middle school students, our high school students today. And we need to be talking to them about what skills they'll need to be able to operate this equipment autonomously. What we need to talk to them about how important it is that we have people who can maintain those strong networks, the wireless infrastructure that's required to support that equipment, because those are the jobs of the future in the mining industry.
You know, it's interesting when you think, for example, of Southern Nevada, um, at the Air Force Base there, they fly missions in Iraq and Afghanistan. And the pilots are sitting there in Southern Nevada as though they were actually flying those planes and drones in those other fields. So do you envision a time where they may be a center somewhere in the state of Nevada where they're operating equipment all over the state for a company?
That is not at all outside the realm of possibility. And as the skill sets required are changing, we're going to be able to see more remote work with some of our mining operations. And they can be anywhere in the world to operate some of that equipment. So it's a really exciting time to expand where the workforce of the future will live.
Is this already occurring in other parts of the world?
Yes. It is. There are parts of Australia, parts of Africa where they have worked really hard at deploying fully autonomous fleets. The United States is actually playing a little bit of catch up to adopt this technology.
My wife and I were in Perth last year, and you know that's a city built on my. Have you been there?
I have not. It's on
Okay,
my
yeah.
list.
Oh, absolutely. You definitely want to do Singapore and Perth because they're very adjoined. They're not close, but they're adjoined. But that whole city is built on mining, and it's incredible what they're doing out there. Now, are you involved with the University of Nevada and the mining school there in terms of all this development and the outreach that's needed? Because I know, for example, we've talked a lot on this program about the builders, and they're reaching out also to middle school and high school kids to say, hey, you know, you don't have to necessarily go to college. There are all these really high-paying jobs available, and we'll train you. Is that similar to what's happening with mining at this point in Nevada?
Yes, it is. And I'll give you two specific examples that the Nevada Mining Association is leading. The first is our teacher workshops. And our next teacher workshop is going to be at the UNR campus at Lake Tahoe next Tuesday and Wednesday. We have over 75 teachers signed up to attend. All day on Tuesday, they will be learning about different curriculum opportunities that they can bring to their classroom, specifically about earth sciences. And in the curriculum that they have there, there are ties into the mining industry. On the second day of the teacher workshop, the teachers get to go on their own field trip. They don't have to plan this field trip. Instead, we've planned it for them. And they get to go see operating sites near the Reno area. They'll all get on a bus and they'll go to the site and they'll get to see mining in action. So that's one of the important things we're doing. We did have a very successful teacher workshop in Southern Nevada earlier this year. The other thing the Nevada Mining Association is doing is a full video campaign highlighting different careers in the mining industry. We've selected 6 careers to start with, and those videos are in production now. If they're wildly successful, we want to just blow this up and be able to highlight 24 different careers. But once those videos are done, we're going to be doing a full campaign to highlight those jobs that are available in the industry. And we'll be sending those videos, we'll be targeting those videos to high school students and to adults entering the workforce or adults who are looking for a career change. So we're taking some new approaches with how we are reaching out to develop the workforce of the future and make sure that there is great awareness about the careers available in this industry.
Can you share what the topics are for the first 6 videos?
So they're highlighting different careers. I think we have a geologist, we have a metallurgist, we have a mechanic. I can't speak to the other 3. I wasn't part of the video shoots, but we did go to 2 separate mine sites and we had about 18 hours of filming at those mine sites, talking to individuals who are doing those jobs today. The videos are going to talk about what they do in their job, how they got to this point in their career, and what they find most satisfying about the jobs they have. We'll have a few different versions of each video because we know that different audiences need different lengths of videos, but we're really excited to be rolling that out in the future.
Do you see something interesting as this country seems to be changing in the last few years, really, to where it used to be you got to go to college and get a college education. But that became very expensive for a lot of people, and they were getting degrees in fields that really didn't help them in their career path eventually. There's not a lot of work for philosophers, for example, if you get a degree in philosophy. So it just seems that, it's more like a European idea where you go to school and you make a decision at around 16 years of age. Are you going to go to university or are you going to get into a trade? And the trades can offer a lot of money.
They certainly can. I had the opportunity to attend 2 of Great Basin College's commencement ceremonies in the month of May. And it was thrilling to see how many students in different stages of life were graduating with degrees in diesel mechanics. They were graduating with degrees or certificates in welding, in millwright operations, and the skills that they received from those programs, they're workforce ready. They can go to work at one of our mine sites or our supplier companies the next day because they have those skills that they need and what our companies are most desperately looking for.
I'm sure you've seen the stories about what's happening with Job Corps across the United States. And this has trained a lot of kids who didn't necessarily come from great backgrounds, not criminal backgrounds, but just not great backgrounds financially or otherwise. And I'm thinking that this is an opportunity for industries like construction and mining to be able to pick up where if Job Corps does go away, it's on hold right now, but if it does go away, that's an opportunity for you guys to pick it up.
That is an excellent suggestion.
Okay, well, the check will be in the mail, I'm sure. No, I'm kidding. Let's take a break. We'll come back much more with Amanda Hilton from the Nevada Mining Association after this timeout. As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
Meet Nevada Health Link, Nevada's official health insurance marketplace. Your link to savings, selection, free assistance, and name brand health insurance, where 90% of enrollees lower the cost of their monthly premium. Everyone deserves access to quality health coverage, no matter your income or family size. Visit NevadaHealthLink.com. A few minutes could save you hundreds of dollars per month.
Nevada Health Link. Our plans are made for your plans.
All hail the $200,000 Cash is King giveaways at Carson Valley Inn. Weekly prize drawings including thousands in cash and free play. And 2 big grand prize giveaway events, each with a $15,000 cash winner guaranteed. Only at the Carson Valley Inn.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Amanda Hilton. She is the president of the Nevada Mining Association. The price of gold is obviously through the roof at this point. But in my conversations with presidents of the Nevada Mining Association over the years, and it's been a lot of years now, that doesn't really affect production of gold, does it? Because those are done in long-term plans rather than the price of gold's up today, it's down tomorrow, whatever it might be. Can you share with us how that works?
I'd be glad to. The price of gold yesterday was about $3,300 an ounce. And there are other commodities that are produced in Nevada today that are seeing similar price increases, such as copper. It was trading at $4.90 a pound yesterday. But those short-term variabilities in our metals prices don't have a significant impact on the mining operations themselves. Because as you mentioned, the mining operations have to take a long-term view. They've invested hundreds of millions and billions of dollars in these properties. And so they have to look at the prices for the next 5, 10, 15 years when they're developing their plans. While our operators are recognizing the increased revenue from the commodities they're selling, it's also important to recognize that they are experiencing vulnerabilities when it comes to the tariffs. The uncertainty with those tariffs, how it's impacting their operation. If some of their metals can even be sold outside of the United States without a tariff is something that's a bit of a question. So there is uncertainty with tariffs. The inflation rates from the last couple of years have also impacted the amount of money it costs to produce an ounce of gold or a pound of copper or an ounce of silver. So there's a lot of economic volatility with each of our operations right now. And one thing to note is all of our operations are unique. They all have different price points, they all have different challenges, and they all have different opportunities. So it's very difficult to say, make a generalization about how the increase in our commodity prices are impacting the mining industry when the impacts are very distinct for each operation.
All right. I know you can't speak about specific mining companies, but you mentioned the price of copper. If I ask the question broadly enough, do you think that some projects in Nevada that have been on hold could come back online because of the price of copper at this point?
So there are 2 operating copper mines in Nevada today, and there is a pretty robust exploration climate for copper in our state. The Department of Energy has issued a critical minerals list. And on that list, there are 4 minerals being produced in Nevada today. And those are lithium, copper, barite, and magnesium. President Trump has also issued some executive orders that further broaden the list of critical minerals. And so on the list now, it includes minerals such as gold. So all of those minerals really have a spotlight on them to see how we can reduce our dependence from other countries. And the exploration climate is quite strong as we're looking at producing more of all of those minerals in our state.
And it seems that this administration is allowing the permitting process to be sped up because it's been drug out over many years. Are you enthused about that portion of things?
We are certainly interested to see how this is going to streamline the process, because there are opportunities to streamline the process. Our operators do rely on the science that's required for the permitting process. And so they aren't going to take any shortcuts when it comes to the science or when it comes to community engagement, and making sure that they're informing the communities in which they're going to operate and that they're working together with those communities. But there certainly are opportunities to improve the permitting process, and we're excited to see how this works out.
One of the things that has been a great concern, and certainly if you read the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal, you've seen articles about this in the last few days, rare earth minerals that China has. Is there potential to discover those in Nevada, or are they already being explored for now?
Yes, a lot of our members are already looking at the deposits that they have today that have rare earth minerals in them. And the obstacle we have to overcome is how to process those rare earth minerals. But the state of Nevada has this amazing inventory of minerals. We have minerals, known deposits of minerals that have been classified as critical that aren't even being produced today. There are zinc deposits, there are vanadium deposits, there are antimony deposits. So our state is leading the way with the mining industry in our nation, and will continue to lead the way with our mining industry as we further expand the number of minerals we're producing. We do currently produce 20 minerals today, and I believe that number is going to increase in the next decade.
You brought up processing. That's been the weak link for so much stuff in the United States. Is there a chance for Nevada to get into the processing game?
Well, the Nevada Mining Association, in conjunction with the Nevada Division of Minerals and some of our member companies, as well as an organization called the Critical Minerals Forum, are in the process of finishing up a report that highlights the need for a copper processing facility in our state. Regionally, there is demand for something like a copper smelter or another similar technology. So that report is going to be issued likely within the next month. And we're excited to have those conversations with decision makers, policy makers, and highlight the great opportunity there is for copper processing within the state of Nevada. But copper isn't alone. There are other minerals that could be and should be processed in our state, and we just need to work through the processes to get those online. The 2 lithium projects coming online in the next few years will also be doing processing of their material.
All right, let's take another quick break and we'll be right back.
Pro Group Management specializes in providing industries with the necessary components to satisfy and exceed workers' comp requirements. Every business has unique needs and specific regulations. Pro Group Management stays ahead of the curve, providing up-to-date services to keep your industry in top form. Discover how we simplify your tasks, improve efficiency, and reduce expense to keep you moving in a positive direction. Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org. A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
For 50 years, Nevada Heating has been keeping people comfortable in their homes. At Nevada Heating, call the Do It Right guys and get the air conditioning back on today. That's the Nevada Heating way. Why sweat for days on end when Nevada Heating can get your air conditioning fixed today? Call us today and we'll fix it today. at 323-5585 or schedule us on our website at nevadaheating.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Amanda Hilton. She is the president of the Nevada Mining Association. I got to ask you, the president and others have been concerned about gold and the gold in Fort Knox. What are your thoughts on this, and what information can you have to share with us? Is the gold still in Fort Knox, or is it just images that, and it's not really there?
Well, I haven't made the trip to Fort Knox yet, so unfortunately, I can't answer that question. And I'm going to leave that to the experts for them to do the inventory.
Okay, but do you have a feeling that the gold is actually residing there? Because others have been there.
We'll have to rely on their experience.
Okay, well, a very diplomatic answer there, Amanda. All right, well, listen, thank you so much for doing this, coming to us live from Ely, Nevada. Oh, and just one quick thing here. The bill for the school that we talked about 3 months ago for the middle school for White Pine County, it's in on the governor's desk, correct?
It is. Superintendent Adam Young and his team did an excellent job shepherding that bill through the process, and that bill was approved by the Assembly and the Senate and is sitting on the governor's desk for approval.
All right, well, we will keep our fingers crossed that it is his signature, not his veto pen, that goes along with that. Thank you so much for doing this. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, and we'll be right back.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain. And for over 90 years, the Nevada Trucking Association has been the voice for the men and women in the trucking industry. From Carson City to Washington, D.C., we advocate for policies to protect our trucking companies and keep commerce flowing. Because Nevada's and America's prosperity is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience.
Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
You can always watch Nevada Newsmakers 24 hours a day at NevadaNewsmakers.com. Thanks for watching and listening.